Good Monday, everyone. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the in-depth video forecast analysis discussion for the last Monday of the month, to 28th of September 2015. Rather soupy morning out there this morning for your Monday, with partly sunny skies now being reported at LaGuardia and Kennedy, and also Newark International seeing some breaks in the clouds. The clouds are of the low to mid variety, and winds are still coming in from off the ocean as moisture is increasing. Our dew points are also coming up. They're in the low to mid 60s now, making the air feel very uncomfortable and sticky outside. Temperatures elsewhere are generally running in the low to the mid 70s on Long Island, and also portions of northwestern New Jersey as the moisture continues to increase. Late morning surface chart from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows the high pressure ridge now off the southern New England coast and an east wind coming in. A marine air mass is still in place, and we have this disturbance which has produced 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain over the last 10 days. With this easterly fetch, all of this moisture has been blocked up by this dome of high pressure in the flow, and we've got plenty of rain here from this disturbance now getting into the Gulf and into portions of the southeastern United States. And all of this moisture will be riding a cold front coming in from the west over the next couple of days, and that means rain chances will be increasing from this disturbance and then later from this disturbance as it gets caught up with the front offshore. This means 2 periods of rain this week, and that is much needed at this point. Latest pass of the visible satellite imagery this morning. First, I just want to say there's airport delays at LaGuardia and at Philadelphia. Of course, Barack Obama has addressed the United Nations earlier this morning. And outside of that, we've got a mid to lower deck of clouds. There's some breaks around the coastal regions here in southern New Jersey, also portions of northwestern New Jersey. And there's some hints of sunshine breaking through some of this cloud deck across the region, but it's a pretty soupy air mass in place, and we can find lots of lifting still with our disturbance off the North Carolina coast, and more lifting here across the southeast, and pretty much just locked in with mid to upper level moisture as precipitable water values are increasing across the region. We have been pretty much high and dry for the last 10 days or more, and we can see the precipitable water values to our south and to our west now beginning to increase as the high pressure ridge now begins to exit off the northern New England coast, and its influence on our weather also will mean that this moisture transport down to the south will begin moving in our direction. On the aviational weather deck today, we're still shrouded in those clouds. We have MVFR, IFR, and limited IFR conditions across the region, so ceilings anywhere from 500 to 3,000 feet this morning. And they have lowered during daybreak. Fog was also developing across the region, and this fog is slowly lifting. Northeast winds early in the day are expected to become more easterly than southeast later in the day, and that's occurring now, and will continue through the overnight hours. Wind speeds are expected to be in the 5 to 10 knot range. Tuesday, IFR and MVFR conditions in the morning, gradually improving to VFR in the afternoon, where there is a chance of showers tomorrow. And by tomorrow night and Wednesday, rain developing and becoming heavy at times, along with a chance of thunderstorms. MVFR and IFR conditions are likely. Wednesday night, mainly VFR with a chance of rain. Thursday, mainly VFR, a chance of rain mostly to the south and southeast of Philly. And then on Thursday night, mainly VFR. Friday, mainly VFR with a chance of rain, and we'll do it again with later on Friday and Friday night, depending on where that the remnants of tropical depression or tropical investigation Ida, or 11 actually becomes, that will become the next named storm. Right now, outside of Newark, it's soupy. It's 75, dew point 64, humidity 69%, the wind is northeast at 6, and scattered clouds at around 1,500 and 3,300. Across the region, VFR conditions in place right now, but that's going to be deteriorating as we go through the next 24 hours. Right now, outside of Philadelphia, we are in IFR conditions. Temperature 72, dew point 65, humidity 79%. The wind is also out of the northeast at 8. Visibilities are about 900 feet in clouds, and those clouds are beginning to improve across the region, or lift a little bit, broken ceilings for the remainder of the afternoon. And then overcast conditions by later tonight and early tomorrow morning once again. Lots of stuff going on in the Atlantic and Caribbean as we close out, or nearly close out, the tropical season here. We have Tropical Storm 11, or Tropical Depression 11 right now, as of the current position this morning. It's still weak, but it's expected to become Tropical Storm Joaquin, as it's pronounced actually, and it will increase. Now, the latest forecast track from the models through Friday morning take it off the Delaware coast to probably out into the ocean with a cone here of possibility across southeastern New Jersey, the Delmarva on the western side of the cone. Central side of the cone brings it just into this region south of the New York Harbor and the New York Long Island Sound area. And we'll be monitoring this because this means some very heavy rainfall coming back into the forecast. It could mean lesser amounts along the coast and higher amounts right along eastern Long Island and Connecticut, wherever this thing makes landfall and then recurves out into the Atlantic. So we'll be monitoring that. This batch of showers and thunderstorms is also what's going to be interfering with this storm as everything gets blocked up around here. So we're going to have moderate to heavy bouts of rain across the region. This disturbance here across the Carolinas means that rain will be moving in over spreading our region ahead of the cold front. Then this will be picked up by the cold front. This will be picked up by the cold front, which will be at that point named Joaquin. And that means moderate to heavy periods of rain in 2 episodes this week, Wednesday and again late Friday and Saturday. Meanwhile, we still have Tropical Storm Ida. It's not doing very well out here in the Atlantic, and right now it's still a tropical depression. Its max winds are about 25 miles per hour, and it's at 24.5 north and 57.2 west. And the increasing fetch from off the ocean is causing some of the precipitation to develop across the south shores of Long Island. This is probably a drizzle, as the observations from the stations aren't reporting measurable precipitation, but there still is some light rain and or drizzle approaching this region this morning. Watches, warnings, and advisories. Of course, we still have coastal rip current risk in effect through this evening for the waves on the New Jersey coast here at 4 to 7 feet. And east wind at around 10, along with an easterly swell, and rough seas will continue to create very hazardous conditions along the Jersey Shore and Delaware beaches into this evening. We saw that on some of the webcams. And there is a high risk of development of dangerous rip currents, so we do want to be mindful of that. Didn't find too many people along the coast this morning on the webcams. We also have small craft advisories for all of the coastal waters. Small craft advisories until 6 a.m. on Wednesday here for the South Shore and East Ends of Long Island. Also for the New Jersey coast, seas basically 4 to 7 feet. The New Jersey coast until 6 a.m. on Wednesday for, again, locations seas between 4 to 7 feet. Ultraviolet forecast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on the lower side of being medium here, and very low on Thursday with the anticipation of the rain that will have fallen or nearly fallen across the forecast region. Everything is beginning to die outside, and everything is beginning to stabilize as a result of that. Today's pollen information shows we'll be on the low to the medium side today and tomorrow, low side Wednesday and Thursday with precipitation, and the very low side even lower than today on Friday. So improvement is definitely on the way, and it's still in the form of ragweed and sagebrush are the only mold pollens out there right now. And with our 2-day lag in data from the Mid-Atlantic River Forecast Center estimation of anywhere from between 9 to almost 11 inches of rain below normal for the year, and we're going to put a dent in that in 2 periods during this week. Very interesting forecast as we head into the next several days and through the rest of the week, and it's a complicated one too a little bit. Here's our high pressure moving off the New England coast. It's starting to give way now to an east-southeast wind, our area of low pressure, which has produced numerous amounts of days of rainfall right along the coastal sections, especially of the outer banks of the North Carolina coast. Here's our low pressure system here. We have an upper level low here, and just a multitude. And of course down here we've got TD11, which will be called Joaquin when it develops. Now, this is what the forecast looks like. Not too bad as we get into the overnight hours and tomorrow. The shield of moisture increases, the cloud cover deck lowers, warm air advection and easterly fetch from off the ocean and southeasterly fetch from off the ocean continues with our southeast wind here. So we get moisture advection and warmer air moving in from the ocean. So we've got this area of disturbed weather down in the southeastern United States with showers and thunderstorms into the Gulf and the western Texas, western Florida panhandle here, and encroaching all of Florida too. Here's our cold front. This is the leading edge of on the polar side of very cold, dry air across the upper Midwest and southeastern Canada. This is going to be a slow mover because we've got a lot of components here. We've got this low pressure area here. We have TD11 here. We have this disturbance off the North Carolina coast. There's going to be a convergence of moisture slowly building in across the forecast region. So by the time we get to Tuesday night, that's where moderate pockets of rain will begin to fall ahead of the cold front itself. And this disturbance here is TD11, which will become Joaquin with our inversion trough, an inverted trough here along the Carolina coast up to, let's say, the areas here off the Delmarva, and our area of low pressure with plenty of rain here across the southeastern coast. All of this is going to have to congeal somewhere, and they're drawing this as Thursday the front comes through and then stalls out off the coast. This could be a little bit overdone too. In its position right now. We still have a little bit of an inverted trough here to the west before high pressure really begins to build in over the weekend. And this disturbance here, which is our TD or Tropical Storm 11, which will become Joaquin. And these forecast graphics were done early this morning, so they're probably going to be updated a little bit. The guidance in the meantime is suggesting that all of this stays further to the east. And that means there's a lot of disparity in terms of the model guidance and how much rainfall is going to be associated with this. The first batch of rain on Wednesday and Wednesday night will bring about an inch or so, maybe even locally higher. But if we combine the energy with this, which is Joaquin, by the end of the week we could be talking a lot heavier rain totals across the region. And certain regions, obviously closer to the storm, will have the larger impacts of moisture. NAM total rainfall through Thursday night or Wednesday night actually shows lower amounts in the south and central portion of the state, higher amounts central and eastern Long Island up the Connecticut River Valley, and also some higher amounts across northwestern New Jersey, but not earth-shattering, just about an inch or under or slightly over in spots. GFS has higher totals here, approaching 2 inches to locally 3 inches in spots across northwestern New Jersey. Lower amounts right along and off the coast, but still everybody gets in on about 1 inch to 2 inches of rain widespread across the region according to the latest model guidance this morning from the GFS output. Canadian model guidance sees the same thing, generally anywhere from 1 inch to 2, locally 3 inches of rain by the time we get to Wednesday night across the region. So, for everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a pleasant Monday afternoon, and we'll be back in video form on Tuesday morning.